Gaffer, Bristol Rovers to come on New Year's Day, but first off, if we reflect on 2024 as a whole, started with a win against Cambridge, ended with a win against Cambridge, so how would you assess everything in between?
Well, listen, like a lot of clubs, have been ups and downs, but I think on a whole to finish 11th last year, could have potentially finished higher. And then after a really difficult start, I think the squad's starting to show its true colours now and been on a terrific run. So I think that when you're competing with some of the clubs in this league, to finish 11th and try and beat that, to get in and around the playoffs would be a massive achievement. And that's the aim. It was always been the aim. Even though we had a difficult start, you just try and suppress some expectations. And I always knew, I said it from the very start, that this squad will get better. And some of the players now are really, really in good form. So I think on the whole it's been a really good year.
I mean, this time of year is obviously a really hectic time, but are you someone who's able to kind of take stock and look back at a season or a year and sort of reflect?
My kids call me the Grinch at this time of the year because I'm just used to it. You just go into autopilot. You know that it's focus. You know that you can't eat that, and you know that you don't drink that and stay up till. I mean, Christmas Day I'm in bed for 10 o'clock. New Year's Eve I'll be in bed for 10 o'clock because I don't want to wake up in the morning and feel like I'm not focused and sharp and ready to work. And if you're asking the players to do that, I think that you should lead by example and do the same thing. So I've had it for I don't know how many years I've been in this, probably 20, 25 years I've been in this situation. So for me it's just normal.
How would you reflect on Sunday, a couple of days on?
I thought it was an efficient performance. We was okay. I thought in the patches where we got our movements going, I thought we looked really dangerous. But the stats were down, the running stats were down. Our press was a little bit off, which is only natural with 3 games in 6 days. We're going to need to freshen things up this tomorrow because we've got a few players that the way that they work, the intensity levels that they show, just need to be taken out for a little bit. And I think when you play this amount of games in such a short space of time, experience tells me that subs are going to have a huge impact. So there'll be a few changes tomorrow. We're looking after a few players. But like I said, the squad is starting to show its true colours now, and we need to use it.
It's not long since we played Bristol Rovers. Since then, they've changed the manager. He's had his first game on Sunday. How difficult is it for us preparation-wise?
It's impossible to tell. They played Stevenage away, which we've played Stevenage away. I think I watched there was more throw-ins than there was passes. So I know that the way that he wants to play is really, really difficult at Stevenage away. So I'm not going to take too much into that. He's obviously got a style that is quite clear in terms of starting positions and the way that he wants to play, but to actually execute it at Stevenage away is really difficult. So it was a nice introduction for him to league football. But a talented squad, a lot of players, some we know really well. We played them pretty recently, so I think, as I've said, in the last 5 or 6 games, we're going to concentrate on what we're going to try and do, both in and out of possession, and impact the game that way.
And you mentioned the freshening up of when it comes to your selection. I mean, how are we looking after Sunday?
Yeah, we've got a few tired bodies, but I don't care. We've, like I said, when we've had the international breaks, the first international break I give them 4 days off. The second international break, even though the results weren't great, I give them 5 days off because I knew what was coming. So we have a no excuse culture. We know these games are coming. We give you adequate rest when it's needed. So when we need adequate playing time and intensity levels and training and this relentless schedule, then we need to be at it. There's no excuses.
And there may well be a few sore heads in the away end tomorrow, but what's your message to those who are, getting in the car, getting on the train to come and support us tomorrow?
Yeah, have a nice evening tonight. Don't get in too late unless you're in Bristol, and you can have a real late one. But no, enjoy it. From myself, the staff and all the players, and from Nigel downwards, we thank the supporters for their support. It's been tremendous all year. We've had some magnificent highs in terms of beating big clubs away from home, going on good runs. We've had some lows where we've had to stick together. But I think it's onwards and upwards, and let's see what next year brings, because for me it's an exciting time to be at this football club.
And just lastly, from tomorrow, the January transfer window obviously opens. As you said earlier, the squad is really starting to show its quality at the moment. So are we potentially going to be active in the window?
I think defensively we're in a good position, good squad size, especially when TJ comes back. I think in midfield we're quite well stocked, especially now Sean Clare is back fit. The biggest thing I think is there for everyone to see is the fact that Theo Archibald and Jordan Graham have been missing in the whole season. So I think we need a couple of options in that area. You know, Galbraith has moved to right back. Donnelly now, I have to say, I take my hat off to him. I'm so proud of him, the way he's come through the difficult time, and I questioned him and I put it on him a little bit to show some resilience, and he's come through that with flying colours. So the fact that I can get him and Galbraith in the team is a massive help for us. But yeah, I think looking forward, I think O'Neill, Aggie has obviously played wide recently. I think we need a couple of players in the forward areas just to replace Jordan Graham and Theo Archibald.